Yo, what is going on, ladies, gentlemen, and whatever else you choose to identify? It is your boy Cam from Tweeking Media, and we are back at it again with a brand new episode of our Nerd Culture Podcast, Attack on Culture. Of course, got the boys with me. Trail Sav, go ahead and say what's up to the people.
What's up? Sorry I'm not on Cam, but we in a recession, so I got to make sure I get this bread.
Life is life right now, but we still trying to get this content out for y'all. And also, belated birthday, we got Unk on the mic with us. Super Unk,
Supreme.
Continue to edge his way. almost at that segue where we might have to start calling him Gramps. Got the boy Chris J on the mic. Go ahead and say what's up to the people.
Yo, man, that Supreme Unk is nuts. But nah, what's good, y'all? Appreciate y'all, man.
Hey, how many more years before you start riding that Spider 3-wheel thing around the city of Chicago for the last?
Bro, I think I could have sworn I told you. I actually wanted to rent one 2 summers ago. I was like, no. I don't like one. I don't like Computer Love. That's probably one of the corniest R&B songs ever. Like every dude who in that listens to Computer Love. G, I hate that song. G,
dang.
It is what it is. I still gotta buy him that Hawaiian shirt with the Crocs when he started barbecuing, so he can really get into the mood.
I'm black, so that's gonna lower the rate.
So yeah, we got a lot of not a good week for gaming. Let's just put it like that. We got a lot of news. Game companies are being the corporate game companies, and not actually caring about the players. But we'll go more into that. Sony took an L. Microsoft, RIP. Basically, I don't know what's gonna happen with them, but hey, shout out to you. And we got some other news about layoffs and just the gaming industry being the modern gaming industry that it is, that we all know and love. But before we get into that. Do me a favor right now, I'm talking to you. Listen to the video, listening or watching this video. Like the video, comment, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Click on the bell icon to be notified of all future posts that we drop on this channel, and share this video across all of your fellow nerds. Help us get to 1K sub, guys. Continue to push, continue to show love, continue to share, get us out there, and we will continue to produce quality content for you guys to enjoy. So with all that being said, let's get right into it. We got some catching up to do. Been doing some things behind the scenes. So we'll start with Trail Sav. You've been playing a little something, Mewgenics. So Trail, go ahead and give us your impressions of the game.
I have to say that I was a little scared, Cam, because when you start, and this goes for the three of us, it really kicked Chris' butt. This goes for the three of us. When you got to start adulting, and you got to work a lot, so the game may get put on the back burner.
Yep.
So in January, I was like, man, I ain't really been playing anything, yo. And it wasn't like anything I was really sinking my teeth into. I was doing a couple of platinum grinds and stuff like that, working on because I've been doing a lot of hard platinums, not easy, like Terraria, Uncharted series, stuff like that. So I was, hitting those up and things like that. But then came February, and I'm like, you know what? There's some good games. Dragon Quest dropping, Resident Evil, literally this Friday. And I was like, man, but I need something to really catch my attentions. And I remember about this game getting teased years ago. And it's from the same creator of Binding of Isaac, and it's Mewgenics. If you really full-fledged into gaming, you kind of heard about this game because a lot of people are talking about it. Mm-hmm. But if you're not really into indie games or roguelikes and stuff like that, people probably not understanding what it is. And it really,
or I guess the hype around it.
Yeah, the hype around it. And to be honest with you, Mewgenics is literally a cat orgy roguelike, bro.
Yeah.
And with some turn-based mechanics. I'm not gonna lie to you. But it is one of the funnest games I have played in a while. I really dipped into the roguelike genre really late. I'm not gonna hold you. This up there with Balatro for me. I'm not lying to you. I initially didn't buy the game. One of my homies had it, and we got a Steam family, so we share the games and stuff like that. One of my homies bought it, and I was like, let me play it. I played it like 15 hours straight on that day. And again, when I came home for work, I was like, let me get into the Mewgenics. Somebody else was playing it. And when you have a Steam family, only one person can play the game in the library.
Depending on developers.
Yeah, depending on developers. I pulled out the wallet. I was like, I have to play it. I am so addicted to that game. Everything that you like about turn-based RPGs in terms of the tactical side and building up characters throughout the run and stuff like that, perfect. The small stuff like creating the different cats to take on said runs, perfect. The music, I'm gonna keep it a bean with you. If this is not nominated for best score in the Gaming Awards, somebody lied. It is some of the best music, and it's all hilarious. Now, people know I don't curse on the podcast, right? I try not to curse. But mind you, we are talking about cats in this situation, right? I was listening to the radio in that game, and it plays automatically. The only way you can cut it off is you cut it off through the options. And as I'm, watching my cats either fight, kill each other, get cancer, or have sex, it was like next song getting played by Back Pussy. And I'm like, huh? And it was just a really good song. But the one of the ones that if you're on the internet that you'll probably hear the most is it's like the all of my days I'm killing rats.
Oh yeah, I heard that one.
Fire! It's fire. The game is amazing. A lot of people was kind of not thinking about getting it when the creator did a bunch of edgy Adult Swim type humor stuff in the game, which he did. But it is a deep game. People are saying that the platinum is 200 plus hours. The Steam achievements are sitting at 287. It is a deep game. Like when I tell you, I played for like 15 hours, right? On my first, I didn't beat Act 1 and within that 15 hours. It is a very deep, and if you go in blind, you are going to have the time of your life. I'm almost done. Some of the great things about that game is the cat modifications and the randomness of it. I'm going to give y'all a couple. One of my cats developed ADHD, and that cat having ADHD, you have 5 seconds to pick your move or the cat is going to do it itself. Every single move.
That's actually kind of funny.
So unless you like stop the turn and go to the next character, the game will pick the moves. You have 5 seconds to do it. And that move can be hitting your teammate, it can be hitting the enemy, it can be running into traps. It would do it. One of my cats got Down syndrome. So as you going across the maps, you have these things in which you can read, and it's like special events. You can get an item, or you run into a fight. The cat with Down syndrome, when you're reading, it doesn't have words. All it says is ubba dubba 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 dubba, because the cat got Down syndrome. If you have like a uranium rod, if you found like a uranium rod on a map or something like that, and your cat hold it, when you get back home, your cat would develop cancer. And you will have to deal with a cat with cancer that you can pass down to future bloodlines and generations. The same thing with inbreeding. Them cats don't care. If they got a high libido, which is a stat in that game, if they got a high libido, they will crack their kids. And you can literally pass down traits. Like I had, and I didn't know I was inbred in the cats at first, because you kind of got to level up to see, because once you get like 30 cats inside that house, it ain't nothing but fighting and sex. So you kind of just start, getting cats. And I had one cat that had one eyeball, it was blind, and it had bad back legs. And that cat literally can do nothing, because not only did it have one eyeball that messes up his accuracy, it also was blind, which takes 30% of the accuracy away. So Lobio, it had to go to the good cat heaven in the sky. But the game is amazing. there's going to be a little mini program I do on the pod, and it's going to be ranking the games that came out so we can keep track of Game of the Year, right? Not personally, I mean, not for the Game Awards, but personally for this podcast. I'm going to kind of keep track of some of the best games of this year. And I'm going to keep it a being with you. It's going to take a lot to best Mewgenics at this point. Like, and a lot of people are saying it, like, it's not just me and the type of games I like. Like, a lot of people is playing this game and saying, this dude created a masterpiece. I don't know what it's sitting at on Metacritic or anything like that, but I'm pretty sure it's sitting high. And play it. Play it. If you get a chance, play the game. Whoever listening, play it. Like, it is a fun game. It's not on console, which really ticking me off. And if it's anything like the Binding of Isaac, when it comes to like the console ports, we might not see this game for 6 years on the console side. And I want to get it on PlayStation so I can go for a platinum grind for this game. But it's amazing. Again, I'm play it. I recommend it to every single person. If you like turn-based games, if you like roguelikes, if you're trying to try something new, play Mewgenics. You will absolutely love it. That's it.
All right, well, there you go. A good, shiny recommendation for a game that came out. We'll see how long that throne lasts because they got until Friday, basically.
They really do.
They got until Friday because I ain't gonna lie to you, that steep competition that's dropping this week.
It really is. February, it usually is rare that February come out. Usually it's like a Yakuza game that hold us through until, the summertime or something like that, or spring. February got some bangers, bro. Bangers.
These past 2 months, January and February, have had some really strong contenders, in my opinion. Stuff that I haven't talked about on the pod, just because I don't really feel like talking about it at the moment, but really good stuff. So moving on to a new segment that I just dubbed, depending on when this happens, catching up with Unc.
Yo,
Chris got some things to Chris got some things he want to tell y'all nephews and nieces out there. So Chris, go ahead and tell us what you've been up to recently.
Yeah, gee, we got to find the music for it now too, just to make it even funnier. But no, hey, on the real though, hey, for one, like we said, Friday, I am playing Resident Evil, by the way. But also for the people who are Resident Evil fans, like me, my homie Chaz, all of us, leaks been out. There's a dude who legit leaked both. It's 2 endings. That's all I'm gonna say. It's 2 endings. So, yes, it's 2 endings. That's all I'm gonna sit there and say. And once again, as a legendary Felice Johnson once said, the choice is yours. That's all I'm gonna say in regards to that. In regards to it. But looking forward to it when that comes out. I know Cam plans on playing because of Leon. I'm a Resident Evil guy, so we will give our impressions next week on that either way. But man, look, first things first, on the anime world, JJK broke the code.
Gotta subtract 2 points. Like I said,
2 points. And plus, I'm be honest, points. I'm already not rocking with the season as is. So this already was at a 7. You went to a 5.
Dang,
I'm already.
You wasn't rocking with
Look, man, I got to pause to read the words. I got to pause to know what's going on with the rules. That even the show is admitting we don't know the rules. So how am I supposed to get into understanding your culling games and there's no rule and the rules don't make sense? The characters are actively saying, "Hey, look, man." But either way, shout out to Mappa for the animation. But once again, if you have time to make freaking movies, you can definitely not have a recap episode.
Just don't show my whole thing is, I've said this many times, save your money. Just say you're on break. What do I need a recap episode for? What has it been like 5, 6 episodes or something?
We're 6 episodes into this season, technically.
Bro, I don't. I got to get reminded of how many people in the Zenin clan Maki killed. Like, I don't stop. It makes sense. Like, recap episodes only make sense if you a One Piece, a Dragon Ball, like a Bleach, like a long running series, bro. You are giving me 12 episodes this season. Wrap it up, folks. I don't need a recap episode in episode 6, bro. That stuff is dope. Like I said, our ironclad rule on this podcast. I know you JJK fans are probably typing up a mean comment of why your show is the best show known to man. I understand that. Listen, I get it. I've personally, aside from Chris, I do have some of my tangents when it comes to some of the way they've been displaying information and things within the Colon games. But overall, I have been very much enjoying Jujutsu Kaisen. I think it's been a really good. But you do a recap episode, -2 points. It's a cardinal sin. Sorry. So if you don't like it, oh well. But I'm sorry for interrupting you, Unc.
No, you good. No, I expect you to interject, but no, like, hey, do better and love y'all selves, because this is it. I'm gonna get to the rest of my stuff. We don't need, especially for something as big as Jujutsu Kaisen, there's no reason to have recap episodes, because people are going to clip and even probably better explain your plot than you are.
There's probably like 3-hour YouTube long videos explaining in deep analysis the lore and plot and rules behind the Culling games. People are already doing your job for you. And before people go, oh, but they have to meet a mandate requirement for, like, because they have to broadcast the stuff in Japan, because obviously we get it through streaming services, but Japan has multiple actual networks that run anime, so they have to fill in that time slot. Bro, just show the Maki episode again. I'm pretty sure the Japanese people aren't gonna care. They don't. The Japanese episode. They can't show it. Okay, you can show the episode with Star Chick, whatever her name is. You can show the episode again.
If they don't simply throw the Team Gojo went to the beach this one time episode.
I'm saying, bro, like just do some weird filler stuff, bro. You bring back fillers, bro. It's if you're gonna do recap episodes, just bring back filler episodes, man. Just some weird stuff, like the baseball episode. Like do something like that.
I mean, like, whatever happened. This is why I'm falling off of anime. Whatever happened to the, like, basketball niggas say, the fundamentals? Whatever happened to the fundamentals, man?
This is the perfect example for all you pro filler people. This is when you have filler.
Yeah,
instead of a lazy recap episode, you give us some goofy shenanigan fillers, bro.
You give us straight fan service. It works. Nobody be like, man, I hated watching this.
I don't really know. I ain't gonna lie to you, that show ain't really, you know what I'm saying?
It's not made.
They ain't got it like that.
There's not much, in my opinion.
It's not really made for it, bro.
You're talking about for the men. The women love them, or whatever you rock with. You better do some Gojo fan service or something. Do something. Anything but a recap episode.
Showing that man in the prison room be funny as hell. Meanwhile, Gojo in the prison room. Perfect filler, low key.
Oh God.
Gojo had a dream about that one time he went to the beach with Gato.
I know y'all want me to watch more things. Again, sorry, Supreme Unk, for interjecting, but I know y'all want me to watch more things. But I'm gonna keep it a bean with y'all, bro. These new animes suck, man.
That's why I told you, go back and watch Gundam. Watch all the Gundams. That'd be a fun challenge for you.
I might have something in the back burner.
But anyway, there's plenty of stuff for this anime season I have been watching. Shout out to all the decent rom-coms on this season, doing a great job. Of course, you got the JJK, Hell's Paradise, Sentenced to Be a Hero is probably the best animated season to me, but a couple of
it's Fire Force season 3 for me, bro.
Fire Force. Oh man, look,
Fire Force
I'm like
freaking heat.
3 weeks behind right now. I'm letting them deal.
So
I watched the Black on Black crime episode. Hey, G,
it's to the point where going through that season, it has convinced me to buy every single volume of Fire Force, because it is that good. Genuinely, I don't know what the mangaka in charge of that show, in terms of the way he constructs the story, the lore, and everything that happens within the series, but it's chef's kiss. It's the best.
Okay.
Out to that.
No, I ain't mad at it, but if Fire Force is up there as well, I got to catch up on it. But plenty of great things to watch this season, but a couple low-key gems. First one, Dead Account. First, reason I'm bringing this up specifically is because I saw an article over this week that these companies plan on trying to use AI to keep dead people's social medias going. This anime
so it's very relevant.
So this anime Dead Account is about spirits taking over dead people's social medias and keeping them alive, and then pretty much conjuring up spirits.
Very relevant.
And pretty much characters are very weird, wonky. It gives me Black Clover vibes with cell phones. But this is so good to me. But also it's really good. But also people are really hating on it because once again, I blame this is the Demon Slayer effect. The animations isn't good. Who gives a damn? This is actually entertaining.
It's a low key show, bro. They ain't got that budget.
They don't got the budget. Gee, damn. Not everybody's Mappa, not everybody's Kodakawa, not everything's under. Look, bro.
You foldable, bro. It's levels to this, man.
It's okay. Not everything needs to be goddamn episode 19 of Demon Slayer. G. It's okay. Damn. But this is really good. The characters are entertaining. I love the aspect of like how these are technically like sorcerers or some no, not sorcerers. What do they call them? Yeah, sorcerers pretty much with cell phones, and they use their cell phones for their abilities and stuff to take out these ghost spirits. It's really neat. It's really interesting. The main character, literally his sister was killed by pretty much the super being itself called Cyber K. Real nigga, by the way. He's sitting there playing with these niggas and whooping their ass just by touching them. His presence makes niggas sleep. Literally, that's a real life virus right there, Jesus. But shout out to him. But reason why I'm bringing this up once again, I need people to realize with all this AI crap going on, and I'm about to talk about AI something in a second, stop playing with certain stuff, G. Japan has predicted this. Psychopaths and Dead Account is prime examples why you need to stop playing with AI in certain aspects that we're going in this world. And watch those things.
It's so
you're gonna
many
see it.
relevant show. Like you know that music show you was talking about, Chris, a while ago, Carol and Tuesday.
Yeah,
about the immigration politics and stuff like that. Like,
yep.
It's great.
That and then the use of AI music.
The use of AI music too, because they do that in the show.
Yep. Carol and Tuesday is a prime example as well. But no, y'all keep playing. Y'all keep playing, man. And look where we at, bro. But another good one that's really good, and I'm probably butchering the name, Shibuyuki or whatever. This is pretty much like I brought it up a few weeks ago. It's pretty much like a death game type show. And the folks on the main character name's Yuki. Her goal in this week's episode, she finished her 30th game because that's pretty much the premise of her getting to the 30th game. Because then afterwards, you're kind of like one of them real niggas in regards to this death game. Weird part is they only use women, girls for these death games. I don't know what the hell's going on in this universe. They haven't really explained nothing outside of these games yet. But the last few episodes was really good because they kind of showcased her having a rival. And the rival, forgot shorty name, some blonde hair chick. And look, this girl, Yuki, was hoeing this girl in like her 10th game because the blonde hair chick was like, nah, I'm the rawest one here. During that game, that girl got her leg ripped off by a dog, and Yuki went to save her and said, hey, look, if you just listen to me, you wouldn't be like this. That blonde hair chick was like, bitch, you got a lot of nerve. But I'm going to let you get me out of this house because I want to win the game, because you got to escape to wherever building it is to get out. And then that blonde hair girl was like, I'm going to get my lick back. So the 30th game, Yuki meets the girl. She pretty much found some little lolly girl to be kind of her, like, her muscle. And pretty much with this game, like, the blonde hair shorty really had this Game of Thrones dramatization of how their final battle is going to be, just for them to literally just try to cut each other up with like glasses of mirrors and shit. But it's hilarious because Yuki wins. The little lolly girl was like, hey, did shorty mention my name after you killed her? She was like, nah. And then proceeds to get shot by this turret gun by the exit. And I was like, this is probably the most anticlimactic shit I ever seen in my life. But other than that, I really like it because it's the mental game aspect. And then also just the fact that it's something slightly different than all the other shonens. And then the death games, like we had the Tamagotchi game thing where that really went left as it went on, like a lot of Pimp C activities that he wouldn't be approving of. But this is really good. If you're into like death game stuff, check it out. Now, wrap up my little my unk session. My birthday was recent, so shout out to me being 33. I'm very transparent how old I am. I don't really give a damn. So it's my Kareem year. So my gift, word, the Ray-Ban Metas, the Ray-Ban Meta glasses. Now everybody's saying, nigga, you just slandered AI. Yes, I did. But at the same time, my sister got these for Christmas, and I was like, you know what? These are really freaking cool. Really freaking cool. So I was like, I really want a pair, you know? Sure, I don't wear glasses like that, but at the same time, they're really neat for me to use at work for when niggas try to tweak on me. I'm like, all right, cool. Now I'm about to record your ass tweaking on me, so I have proof when I write your ass up. But also, part of my job, I check vans. I take photos of damage, make sure I keep track of it, because sometimes I don't like having my phone with me. Also, makes it easy for me to talk on the phone when I want to. So, but either way, really great gift. Now, this is the funny thing. You have to download the Meta app on your phone. It's totally separate from Facebook. Exactly. Best believe, when I first had to download that app, best believe the first thing I did was limit all the first thing I did was limit the live AI system on the camera. I mean, on the glasses, because I didn't want it to constantly listen to me. I felt awkward about that. So I turned that off, even though it still kind of does. But it has a lot of neat features to it besides the creep shit. Like, oh, I'm gonna sit there and record this random woman and all of that. Like the camera, like if you're not one of them weirdos that get the blockers, it lights up, letting you know, hey, it's recording. Even if you take a photo, it still does flash. So no matter what, unless you're a creep. And the funny thing is, when you go on Amazon, type in hey, I'm looking for accessories. It took me like 5 scrolls just to get to a carrying case.
There's a bunch of like blockers and stuff.
It's all the blockers. I'm like, bro. And literally, there's some people probably paying $50 for some blockers. I'm like, y'all some disgusting freaks. But not my look. That's y'all. It's not that deep. I seen TikToks of niggas destroying the glasses just to take the flash out. I'm like, it's not that deep. But anywho, enough of that. I do like the glasses. I did change the voice to John Cena because that was they didn't have a nice female voice to have. The default voice is a random white guy. I was like, this ain't cool, but I'm gonna pick John Cena because John Cena's cool as hell. So it does let me know.
Cena know that John Cena is being used to.
I believe he's
I'm
one
pretty
of
sure
the
probably
only.
like a partnership.
It's a partnership. I remember seeing it years ago, like a year or two ago, that he did sign his voice off to be used for AI. So,
crazy, by the way.
It is, but hey, that's his prerogative. That's his money. Look, it is what it is. Shout out to John Cena. You're letting me know that Daytra texted me. But either way, I do like the features in terms of the speakers. The speakers is really good, and it's not that loud either. Like I had on the loudest setting, and people could just barely hear what I was listening to, or my phone calls and stuff like that. So that's really good. The phone calls are really clear. I tested it with Ashley, of course. She was able to hear me like a lot clearer than my AirPods sometimes. So I was like, okay. So those aspects is really good. It is pretty cool in terms of keeping track of, like, well, at least paying attention what is around you. So I tested it a few times and I asked what breed of dog am I looking at? And because it was like this, my neighbors have a dog, so I was just outside. And I'm like, okay, it was outside. I'm like, what breed of dog is that? And it took a couple of tries till it realized it gave me the exact breed, which is like, oh, this is a German Shepherd. Even though I know it's mixed with something, but this is a German Shepherd. First time it said, oh, it's a black dog. I'm like, clearly, nigga. But or like, hey, is there a car in front of me? Yes, it is. It is a blue sedan in front of you. I'm like, oh, okay. What kind of car is it? further analysis, it's a Nissan Sentra. I was like, oh, cool, neat. See, okay, so if you make it, it will try to give more details, but it does be pretty vague. I'm curious how well it will be if I didn't turn a lot of the AI features off. But they're really good glasses to have. They're really convenient. It does do reminders and alarms for me as well. So like there's moments where I'll be forgetting to do stuff at work, because for me, I really been wearing them a lot at work this past week. So it's been really helpful in regards to that. But once again, my biggest critique is the fact that I have to have the Meta app on my phone. I really hate the fact that I gotta have that app on my phone. And instead of it just having a separate app just for the glasses. The battery life is really good. They do charge really fast as well. Even the carrying case, I think I haven't charged it since freaking, what does it say? So I haven't charged since Friday. It's only at 25%. And the glasses itself, they have a good like 8-hour life, like at least for me, an 8-hour life. And that's constant use. For having to put it back in the carrying case, charge it, and charges back in like an hour. So those who really want it and have like meaningful use of it and not trying to be a creep or one of them streaming creep niggas, pretty good. Those slice of life ass streamer type people, I think they will probably like this instead of setting up a damn tripod. I recommend it in that aspect. But make sure you have cloud storage, because if you're that type of person who's going to use it for content, you're definitely going to need plenty of storage. And that, me, I'm just using it probably more for work and personal life reasons and stuff like that. But it's really good investment. I got the really basic ones, so these are like $350. I wanted the Oakley ones, but they were sold the hell out. Like they were sold out. So it is what it is with that. But pretty good investment. I'm cool with it. I didn't have to spend my money on it, but I'm glad it was a great gift. I'm appreciative of it. So shout out to my shorty for that. So that's it for me.
All right. So long-winded, just like an unk would. But we're gonna move on to our news segment of the podcast, with first being some news in regards of gaming. Well, pretty much all these news are in relation to gaming. But the biggest thing is that recently it was leaked through Bandai Namco's YouTube channel.
I think it was the Asia page.
South
Asia page that essentially Age 1000, which was the project name that was revealed during the Genki Damatsuri live stream, is Xenoverse 3. So there you have it. I know there's a lot of people. It's from what I've been seeing, it's mixed, right? You got a lot of people who are happy. You guys are finally getting Xenoverse 3. It's almost been 10 years, because Xenoverse 2 released in 2016. So there you go. Me personally, any hype, any excitement, looking forward to any positive emotion that I had towards this game, out the window. I don't care. I listen, and I know some Dragon Ball fans are gonna come at me at this point. When it comes to, I pride myself on really being someone who is not involved in a lot of communities. Pride myself on it. As far as like, there are certain things that I just will not know. Like, I'll give you a prime example. Persona 5. For the longest time, Persona came out in, I think, 2017. I think it's 2017. I never engaged in that community until like 4 or 5 years later, like when I was randomly scrolling through TikTok and the algorithm did the algorithm thing, and I started seeing Persona related content. And I found out that Makoto was a very popular character in Persona 5, and I did not know that.
Extremely popular.
Very popular. And I had the opposite. I thought she was a boring character when I played the game. But I didn't know that. And that's because I never engaged in any Discords, no Reddits, no nothing. I didn't want to. So it's kind of the same thing when it comes to like anime, video games. I am someone who legit, I'll engage with something and I don't want to know what the community thinks about certain stuff. So it's the same thing, similarly to like when it comes to these anime games. A lot of y'all at this point are just, it's like Beauty and the Beast, your Belle and Beast Castle, Stockholm syndrome. We go through this every time. Every time a new anime arena fighter comes out or an anime game comes out that looks generic, it just looks like, hey, cash cow stuff. What do? Every time, like clockwork, y'all say the same stuff. Oh, y'all gotta wait, man. Wait till the game comes out. Y'all, every time, like, you guys are just judging it. We gotta wait for the game comes out. Oh, it's generic. Oh, it's this. Oh, it's that. Oh, where's the rank mode? Oh, why is the online bad? Why is this? Why is that? And then it's like, it's y'all are basically, anime Call of Duty fans. You know what I'm saying? You go through the same thing every single year. You say the same thing and nothing changed. Like Far Cry 3, the definition of insanity. So at this point, it is what it is. Like I said, I enjoy Xenoverse 2 for like the first year, maybe not year, but like first couple months. But it got kind of boring to me. I know some people are gonna go like, "Oh, but Xenoverse had a bunch of content." I understand. I am someone of the mindset of just because something has a lot of something doesn't mean it's quality. You can have a lot of content, but is it good content? And some people who play Xenoverse 2 will say, yeah, it was really good content. But for me, I'm good on that. So John Dragon Ball, whatever they're calling that boy's name, John Dragon Ball, and whoever else, you can miss me with that. I'm good on the game. What are you guys' thoughts on another Xenoverse?
I'll give my thoughts real quick before I have to peace out in a little bit. But look, man, some told me about this damn game was looking very Xenoverse-ish because everything about all the other Xenoverses took back in the future and all of that. This is a very futuristic looking weird character that's like somebody would have made on Xenoverse. So y'all tried to sell it as, oh yeah, Toriyama was working on this and all of that. I'm pretty sure he was, just so we can get a retelling of Dragon Ball to Super.
Yeah, we get to go through the Cell Saga, the Saiyan Saga, and the Frieza Saga again. Yeah,
exactly. Woo-hoo, yeah. So you once again, as once upon a time, Joe Budden once said, you can fool them, but you can't fool a real nigga. So with that said, you didn't fool me almost, but you ain't
got me, man, because you led me with that whole Akira original character thing. I was like, okay, maybe you're doing something interesting with this, and he's like, nope, generic slop.
No, y'all try.
I know y'all are gonna get mad because I use the word slop. I don't care. Generic slop.
Y'all gonna once again get over the fact that we're never going to get a legit original Dragon Ball Z game, probably no time soon. G, y'all tried to sell it. Y'all did the best y'all could, but guess what? Bandai Namco, shout out to the truth in that Asia department. G, y'all some real ones. G,
Intern Kun got fired for this, bro. He got fired for it. But
oh yeah, bro. Lord's work. They definitely threw Buddy off a mountain. G. Like, they definitely threw Buddy off a mountain
because this was something that was supposed to be reserved to April because that's when they have the Dragon Ball Battle Hour where they were going to discuss. Yeah. They're going to discuss more news about the game, and they just dropped it in February.
Yep. Shout out to Intern Kun G. R.I.P. to you, but hey man, shout out to you for Fiverr.
So y'all can manage your YouTube page for you.
I got
you. Real quick, just for me, I know people listening, especially if I make this to a clip. I want to say this on behalf of the podcast. We are not trying to pee in your cereal, but Bandai Namco is trying to pee in your cereal, bro. And I just want to keep it real with people and say, for my opinion, Xenoverse was never a good game nor a game of series. For anime fans who like 3D fighters, literally, you guys play anything. So I don't take.
Oh God!
Seriously,
y'all are satisfied with anything.
My Hero One's Justice G. Come on, man.
Y'all are satisfied with anything at this point,
bro. Jump Force had a player base for a little while.
Still do.
So like, Shinobi Strikers still
Oh my
thriving
God,
fan base.
Bro, they're trying to make a new freaking Ultimate Ninja, bro. Come on, man.
They got an Ultimate Ninja mobile. Like it's a very I don't take these people seriously when it comes to that. But as a Dragon Ball fan, probably the biggest in this goddamn group, I'm still it's not moving me whatsoever. Like shout out to the people who
You don't
love.
want to play as John Dragon Ball?
That's the only thing, bro. I rock with John Dragon Ball. I'm not even gonna hold you. That guy's cool. But I personally don't think like this does anything for me as a consumer, to be honest with you. And I don't plan on playing it. And I'm not like other people when they say they don't play a game. Nigga, I'm not playing it. I'm one of them.
I'm not getting, because there are so many people who go like, I'm not getting the game. I'm tired. I hate that Bandai Namco does all this stuff. I'm sticking up. And then because we live in an era where you're so content pilled and FOMO pilled, especially if you do content creation, all these anime channels that don't have a spine or a backbone to actually stand up for what they, I'm not trying to say you need to die on a hill or anything like that, but like for people who like to stand on their soapbox and go, I will not support this game. I'm not going to buy this game. And then day one, you got a stream, you got a video up saying, oh no, actually I was wrong about this game. Like we know who you are, bro. You're a coward. You're coward.
Like Cam said, and it's just like it's just simple. Like I'm not it's just I know the effort certain companies put into certain genres because they know their fan base literally just want one thing. Like you know what I mean? Like they just want to be able to play with their favorite characters. Yeah, like how long was Fighters goddamn net code was atrocious.
It still is.
Like it was terrible, and it still is terrible. But they did nothing about it, right? Xenoverse, when that game came out, broken. People was abusing it. Sparkling Zero abusing that game, like and. You even had a tournament in which you lost all faith when them niggas was doing that little up and down thing.
Everybody's playing the same character.
Everybody's playing the same character, and now people look like, this game kind of sucks. But it's not even just on that end because niggas know I don't like fighting games and stuff like that too. But I just think as a society we should literally just move past 3D arena fighters, bro. And let another generation pick that up and carry the torch in 50 years or something like that. But for right now, I don't think it's needed. Just like even though I'm looking forward to Crimson Desert, we can leave the medieval time period of RPGs alone for a little while,
bro. But Crimson Desert has freaking jets though. I heard
it's more like Final Fantasy side of medieval.
It's like fantasy, but it's like every time you see those games, it's like another sword, another dragon, another like it's just come on there.
Like Final Fantasy, like you look at a Final Fantasy game, dragons, swords, and next thing you know, it's just some mech boss that's about to put you in the dirt out of nowhere. Like that's the type of fantasy. Yeah, man, I was playing. Shout out to 2, like Final Fantasy 2 had one of them joints, but it is what it is, bro. I'm not looking forward to it. I had more jokes, but my jokes turned into disappointment. So,
all right. So I know Chris has to take care of some life stuff. So we will be saying goodbye to Unk here.
So
we will. But real quick on the Xbox thing, RIP niggas, that's fucked up. Oh dang, sorry for cussing.
You see, he bro, his brain not functioning like it used to. But so let's move on. So we got 2 pieces of news. So this isn't necessarily like recent to this week. Obviously, we're going to be talking about Sony and Microsoft later. These podcasts are always timestamped, so you don't have to listen from beginning to end. You can pick out the segments that you want to. I always make sure to do that for people who are listening for your own listening/viewing convenience. But Ashes of Creation recently was a big Kickstarter project. Was a lot of people were looking forward to this game, and this has been this, I guess, drama or news that has come out recently regarding this game is stuff that has, like, it really just took place like a couple weeks ago, but it's been going on from the span of years at this point. So just to give a TLDR of it, because I'm not going to go too much into detail, I will have her shout out Young Ye, great YouTube channel. He has done a lot of videos covering that. He's also the English voice actor of Kiryu from Yakuza. So shout out to folks. But yeah, so basically just a very brief synopsis of the situation. Essentially, the creator has a background in multi-level marketing, MLM, which, in case you guys are not aware of, is a very controversial job role to have. It essentially boils down to like pyramid scheming. I don't want to say scamming for legal reasons, but essentially that kind of like, it's very shady practices that a lot of people aren't fond of when it comes to things of that nature. So but when they put the game out on Kickstarter, he made this promise that, hey, look, man, if this game doesn't release or if it fails or whatever, I will personally, because he basically was saying that I'm going all of the money, I'm pouring my own money into this on top of whatever money that he gets from Kickstarter. And if the game doesn't do what it, if it doesn't release or anything, I will personally fund everybody that has backed this game. So essentially what ends up happening is that, they release an alpha of the game, and people, it's mixed. There's some good things about it, but overall there's a lot of things that people are like, hey, we want these added, but there's a lot of radio silence. And essentially people were wondering what the heck is going on with this game? Aside from like the alpha, like what's going on? Because if you don't know, Kickstarter has a lot of issues when it comes to scamming, basically. Just to put it point blank. I'm not gonna say I am not going to say anything too deep in regards to this, but I just want to give a recent example from my point of view. And basically, so if you guys remember Friday Night Funkin', which was like a game that came out, a lot of content creators used to cover it. They announced a while ago that they're going to be making a full game. And so as someone who, I personally played the game, I liked the game, I actually invested into their Kickstarter. Now, I just want to put this, I'm not saying anything. This is pure speculation. This is alleged stuff. This is just what I've been getting. Because we do get updates, as part of Kickstarter, they give you updates. But as someone who has backed the game, and I've looked at the recent update that they posted, which was something along the lines that they had put the game on mobile. And if you go through the comment section, it's just people going like, bro, what is going on with the actual game that you guys said you were part? Because the game made like $2 million as far as like when they had announced that they were making a full game for Friday Night Funkin'. And we haven't gotten any. It's been radio, and this has been going on for 5 years. So,
5 years.
Yep, 5 years. So there's a lot of people that have when it comes to Kickstarter projects, especially when it comes to games, this is the reason why a lot of people are very hesitant to support, because there are some really good, it's like one of those bad apples spoil the bunch, because there are some really great successful projects that have come from Kickstarter. But when you have a lot of stories like this, a lot of people look at that and go like, I'm not investing in it. I used the Friday Night Funkin' as a recent example because it's been radio silence, like, and at this point I've chopped my losses. Like, I'm just gonna keep it, I chopped my loss. It is what it is. But yeah, so it's kind of very similar to Ash's creation. So basically what happened is that there were a bunch of layoffs of the studio. The studio's closing down. There's a bunch of developers got laid off. And then the creative director himself came out and was like, oh, I resigned from my position because of, the company got taken over from the inside, and my ideas, or like what I want, the direction that I want the game to go in, didn't happen. And so then recently it came out that he was lying, and apparently essentially he got a bunch of his multi-level marketing buddies to invest in the game, invest a lot of money into the game, and also invest in some personal things, because I think he was bankrupt, and he was trying to he purchased a mansion. He was trying to pay that off, and essentially it boiled down to the company running itself into the ground, and then the people who invested in the game was like, "Hey, get out of here. We don't want to see you." So and now the state of the game right now is I don't know if it is 8 or 80 million, but there was somebody who invested a lot of money into the game. He now holds the rights to the IP and the property, and he stated that he was interested in continue to like actually make this an actual game. But a lot of this, it's a lot of bad blood between the developers because of all of the drama and stuff that has happened as a result of everything that's happened. Fortunately, though, Steam has been honoring a lot of people getting refund requests. So shout out to Valve for that. Because a lot of people are like, hey, look, man, just give me my money back. I don't want to support this anymore. So shout out to that. But yeah, that's basically, and that's just a kind of a brief overview. There's a lot more to the story. And if you want more details of this, I, again, highly encourage you to check out Young Ye's video coverage of this, because he goes into a lot more details about more specific things. But that's kind of it. Thoughts on this, Detro? What are you thinking?
I mean, you hit the nail on the head. I just think it's kind of bogus what people would do. But I ain't gonna hold you. If somebody told me I'm starting the game and the name of it is Ashes of Creation, that sounds like something that somebody typed in the chat GPT. I ain't going for it, bro. I ain't even gonna lie to you. The Ashes of Creation is just sound like it. But I think Kickstarter has to do more things of protecting the people on Kickstarter, but also if Kickstarter start making, bigger and bigger restrictions, and people just gonna stop using it to finesse. So they're kind of in a bogus situation. But I just hope that the people who did put money into it somehow recoup it. But you're gambling at this point, and it's no different from somebody buying a game that's already full priced and didn't get what they worth. Because now in these days, it's an arm and a leg to refund unless you're getting something off Steam.
Yeah.
It's they do the same thing at this point. Gaming is like a flip of the coin. And a lot
Let's
of
go
the
gambling.
times, yeah, and a lot of the times it lands on tails. A lot of the time, I want to say probably 45% of the time, you're going to run into something. Out of all the games that release, you're going to run into something that's just pure garbage, or they sell you a dream that's never going to happen. And basically that's what they're doing. But again, I think you hit it on the head. It
really does suck, because there are some really great projects because there are people who are talented who want to make a great game. They don't have the money, and they're like, hey, look, man, if we can get this money, I can make you some really great indie game projects that have come from Kickstarter. And it just sucks that there are a lot of bad apples and people who want to abuse that system. I don't necessarily want to say it's a problem within the Kickstarter infrastructure, like the site itself, because they're like, hey, look, man, it's your choice. If you want to invest in these games, you can. If we're not liable for what you choose to invest in. So I think it starts with the person. And unfortunately, there's a lot of people who see us as a mark, and they're going to use that and take what they can get and dip. And legally, there's not much you can do about it until like something big like this happens, and then there could be maybe some legal recompense coming down. But again, it sucks. And definitely, again, like I said, if you're somebody who has supported the game and is interested and they don't know, there are people, like I think there's some message threads and articles or stuff about how people were able to get funds on Steam, even though like you played it for over 2 hours or whatever. You can still get your full refund. There's just certain prompts that you have to pick in order for Steam to like give you your money back. So if you are somebody who has been affected by that, be sure to look those resources up and get your money back. But let's move on to the next piece of news that has came out, which is in regards to Highguard. So recently, Highguard has laid off a bunch of their developers because obviously the game is not doing as well as they thought it was going to do. And one of the developers had came out and basically, now I'm not gonna like overly blow it. I don't want people to like send hate to, because I'm not even gonna like name the person. But one of the developers came out and basically was like, "Oh, the reason why I died was because of gamers. You know, you were the reason why the game failed." And then, yeah, it's not a very bright statement, but I don't think it's anything. I mean, like, it's nothing to get like too mad about, in my personal opinion, because one, I'll disclaim. I'll say this: I am someone who never wants a game to fail. Right? Like, I don't want there to be a game that comes out and we're just like, yes, I want this game to fail. I want this game to shut down, close, whatever. Right? I'm not someone who like actively roots for games close, unless it's like something where it's like very egregious cash grab type situations, right? But I'm never one to someone to actively root against a game until like, one, we get more news about it. We have a history of that game, which is what, because I know there's a lot of people go, but what about Xenoverse 3? We have a history of the Bandai Namco shenanigans, and I'm not actively rooting for Xenoverse 3 to die or fail. I personally am just not going to play it. But yeah, so with the Highguard situation, it's just, there's a lot of different factors that go into this. You could say that people that already came into the game with a hateful bias, who didn't want to play, who, you know, played the game for like a minute and left a hateful comment or whatever, but like that doesn't add up to much. The fact is that your game launched with almost 100,000 players. On the Steam side, we don't know what the console numbers and stuff are, so again, easily over 100,000 players, and you didn't retain it. And whether that's due to just, I think the biggest thing is just whoever was in charge of marketing just didn't do a good job with capitalizing off of anything, with any momentum that the game could have had or had. Because again, it's just, I understand that like you wanted to shadow, like initially they wanted to shadow drop the game. But at the same time, you still got that spotlight on the Game Awards, and you could have taken that opportunity to really capitalize on, even if it was initial negativity, you could have been like, hey, look, Game Awards open beta at the end of the Game Awards. You can play the game for yourself, see what it's like, just to get some, and then get more people, because like you not saying anything in between the Game Awards into your game like a couple days before your game launches officially, it's just not good. Because like then you're gonna, because the whole thing where like, oh, people wrote the game off from minute one. It's like, okay, now, but you could have used whatever momentum you gotten from the Game Awards to flip that narrative and to get people to get excited and invest more into your game. Because it showed that you guys were listening to the community, because one of the biggest things was like, oh, 3v3 kind of sucks, like let's put more people in there. And then you immediately drop 5v5 and people were like, oh, okay, this is actually kind of more enjoyable. And it's like, you didn't do anything else after that. So it's just like, you don't know how to capitalize on the momentum that your game was given. And I think that's I'm not saying it's the biggest reason, but I do think that's one of the reasons why the game didn't do well. Obviously, negativity, word of mouth does play a part, but I don't think that's the ultimate reason as to why Highguard failed. I think it's just just marketing and just a lack of really capitalizing on your player base, because you're a live service game that needs to retain a player base, and clearly you just didn't do that. So that's my thoughts on it. Nature, what do you have to say about it?
Real quick, I think, the reason the game didn't have success is, and this is something I would probably say a lot throughout the rest of this episode, is that gaming is a coin flip. Live service, you add in an extra, caveat to that as well. Live service games are not successful for everyone. It is not a resounding, I make a live service game, I'm going to make my money back. I don't know how many times people have to see throughout first-person shooters or even third-person shooters that's come out, live service, free to play, all the buzzwords, and they die within 3 months, because it is a very hard genre to compete in. And it's not even oversaturated. It's not. It's just
but there are just
big
juggernauts.
Yeah, it's just the big dogs.
You just like, and if you don't have anything that can take some little 5-year-old or 10-year-old from playing Fortnite to go play your game, it's just not gonna work.
Yeah, it's not. You even got people who play and they got you're not just competing with Fortnite, Warzone, a little bit of Red Sect on Battlefield, maybe Deadlock and Marvel Rivals and Overwatch and stuff like that for the hero shooter side. Bro, you're competing with Roblox, who got games within games within games.
Yeah.
Like you are in a situation in which the market, like I said, is not oversaturated, but everybody is somewhere else.
But there are dominant leaders in that market.
Yeah, dominant. Fortnite is. They just told their fans, all of our skins are going to be coming up is most likely going to be Gen AI. They're going to Gen AI a bunch of
And they're like, we don't care. We'll still buy it.
Yeah, they're going to buy it. Because they heard that, hey, we're going to be able to do collabs 10 times faster now. And they're like, oh, even though probably a third of Epic probably just lost their job or something like that. Like, it's just they win. And we'll get a little bit more talking about live service once we get into the last two topics, but Highguard was doomed to fail. Like Cam said, they shouldn't have capitalized on the intrigue of the Game Awards, because it wasn't just hate. There was intrigue as well of like, what the heck is this game, right?
But it was radio silence. You didn't do
radio silence. And it looked like y'all didn't prepare for the moment, which is what it is. What can you do? Jeff Keighley believed in you, so you should have believed in yourself.
No, God. Jeff gave you the nod, and Jeff gave you an alley-oop, and you took the ball and walked out the stadium.
Let the shot clock run out, man. But it is what it is. Hopefully, they already fired a bunch of people, so hopefully more people don't get fired. But they already fired so many people in that studio.
And again, we're not trying to we're not active. And even if the game that we're not going to actively say yes, Highguard died. Yes,
I don't believe
it's not like that. But it's an unfortunate situation where it's like, again, history repeats itself. How many more times do we have to get some studio trying to capitalize on that live service, that itch, that scratch that they see, because they see about the amount of money you can make from that, and you realize the type of field you're stepping into, and then 3 months, 6 months, less than a year later, end of service. It sucks, but it's one of those things where it's like, understand what you're trying to get into, and if you can't make any noise, then you need to invest into something else. So it sucks, but hey, Highguard, moving on to the next piece. So these are the big two news. Sony said, hey, look, man, I know we said we gave y'all some really good stuff to cook on, to feed on during our state of play that took place earlier this month. But it can't be too positive. I got to give you something to get mad about. So Sony is some bizarre. Well, I wouldn't say it's bizarre. It's to be expected, especially in this capitalistic society. I'll go into a little. I might get into I don't know, anti-capitalistic cam mode. I don't know what to call it, but but essentially Sony shut down BluePoint Games. So these were the people responsible for the Shadow of Colossus remake, which I personally played and I loved it. It was a great remake, and they were also responsible for the Demon Souls remake, which a lot of people, which was a PlayStation 5 launch title, which was very successful. A lot of the Soulsborne people liked it, and Sony's in recently it was announced through this announcement. It was stated that they were working on a God of War live service game. Because, hey, if there's anything that God of War fans wanted, was not, obviously we just got the news for the remake, so that's cool. Or, the rumors about the next, the sequel to God of War, the PS4 era, where we get, maybe I think they're saying like Kratos might go to Africa or something like that. Not that. It's a live service game where I can pick my generic Athenian warrior character, and I can pay $20 for the Blades of Olympus skin. That's what they wanted. So because Sony has been in, you know, if you are in the know about the latest going on in the industry, Sony has been hard stop pushing live service. They want to make, that's what they want to invest in long term, is nothing but live service.
They stopped when
well, they reduced it because it was at first it was 12 live service games. Then Concord came out, failed spectacularly, and then they dropped it down to 6. They dropped, but they're still interested in pursuing it. It's just not as, you know, but pre-Concord. And I feel like that kind of goes into and we'll talk about this with Xbox as well, is that these studios are investing a lot of money into this stuff. Like Concord, Sony invested a lot of money into Concord. So when people talk about the failure of Concord, it's not just because, oh, well, the game didn't even last like a week or whatever. Yeah, I mean, it's funny, it's memes and whatever, but you have to understand that Sony put a lot, this was going to be their juggernaut. This was going to be their first foray. This was supposed to be like the game that puts them in the limelight. That's like, oh, you buy a PS5, Concord, you know, like that's what they wanted. And it failed. And then one thing you have to understand, especially when it comes to like a lot of these corporations in the society that we exist in, is this term, the lie of perpetual growth. Essentially, these companies they have a quota every year, every quarter that they have to make in order to appease their shareholders. So if things go wrong, if things, you know, like a Concord fail or anything like that, they have to recuperate those losses somehow. And that's when you get mass layoffs, studio closures, the works. Because at the end of each year, they have to go up to these shareholders and say, this is what we've done so far throughout the year, and this is how much money you've made. And those shareholders, they don't go, I'm just going to use this as an example. Your company makes $1 million. Your shareholders don't go, oh man, that's awesome, you made us $1 million. Oh, that's great. No, these shareholders go, okay, cool, you made me $1 million. How are you going to make me $2 million next year? Oh, you made me $2 million. How are you going to make me $4 million next year? The lie of perpetual growth. It's an Ouroboros snake that's constantly eating itself. And Sony, we'll talk about Xbox later, they invest millions, billions of dollars into these products that don't return the investment that they're expecting. And as a result, something has to go. And it always starts at the bottom. It never stops at the top. It already starts at the bottom. So developers, mass layoffs, and studio closures. And unfortunately, that's what happened. I don't know specifically, I'm not saying that like, oh, the Concord failed and then BluePoint died as a result. I'm not saying that that's the line of thinking. But what I'm saying is that when these companies don't make the profit when it comes to an end of quarter review or end of year or mid-year or whatever review, they have to recuperate those costs somehow. And it always starts at the bottom, at the human factor, when it comes to these developers in these studios. And unfortunately, it was BluePoint Games' time to go, even though they have proven that they can make good games if you give them, you know, something to do. And I have no idea why Sony was like, yeah, make me a God of War live service game. That's stupid. But unfortunately, that's kind of how it goes. That's what I have to say on it. What do you have to say about that, Datro?
And I agree with you wholeheartedly with everything you said. I think it was disrespectful to put a team that's obviously as talented as BluePoint Studios working on a impossible task of making a successful live service God of War game. That's an impossible task. Yeah, impossible. Because no one's asking for it. Again, this market, it's their play. Back in the day when we had first person shooters, like the market was already there. Like Call of Duty, Battlefield, occasionally Titanfall, stuff like that. You had the people still playing Counter-Strike or Destiny or something like that. But niggas who coming in and saying, I'm gonna make a brand new multiplayer shooter, they failed. You know what I'm saying? And you telling an even more impossible task of taking an IP that's primarily single player, that no one asking for a multiplayer.
No
No one.
one.
If this is kind of like the Spider-Man situation, then yes, people wanted a multiplayer Spider-Man game. We wanted that. So it was kind of sad seeing that got canceled. People hear that a God of War game, a free-to-play God of War game get canceled. People like, thank God I avoided that.
Yeah, right. Nobody wants that.
No, I don't. One multiplayer God of War game happened already, and in what is it, Army God of War Ascension.
Yeah, Ascension.
And that was okay, but like even now, like it's not needed. Like that's the thing, it wasn't needed. And I think that studio, you could have just focused them on doing remakes. Like
Yeah,
that's what they too crazy. Shadow of the Colossus remake, everybody loved it. I didn't hear one person say it was bad.
fantastic.
And the first PS5 game to look like a PS5 game in Demon Souls remake. That was the first one for a long time.
And people loved the remake of Demon Souls.
And it was the only one to actually look like, that's the biggest thing. It looked like I'm paying money for a PS5 when you looked at that game. And with
60 frames per second,
like
smooth performance. It was
good. But look at it now. Like you close the studio, and it is what it is at this point. Live service games are extremely deadly. They are a deadly venture, right? Overwatch almost died. They didn't have a long tenure with the paid version, but the moment it went live service, it literally almost put the nail in the coffin. Like that's
and it was
crazy.
only through the result of a fan base that still believed in them.
Yeah.
That still because Overwatch had a legacy. So it was through that legacy that they were able to take that momentum and then come back, not only within just the recent months, but throughout the years, still stay afloat and then rise back to prominence.
Yeah. But, you know, I have even more thoughts on just gaming in general in our last topic. But I just hate to see a talented studio like that. Like, that's sad. That's a talented studio. Just get munched on by, shareholders and
corporate.
Yeah.
And it sucks. And it's one of those things where, like, you have to end this off with, they're not going to be the last ones. just the way this market is, they're not going to be the last ones. So it's unfortunately, hopefully all of the developers at BluePoint Games, you guys find great, you bounce back, you find work, because you guys are very talented and you deserve to be working on things that you're passionate about, and not getting screwed over by corporate and executive leadership and shareholders. So now let's move on to our final piece of news. Obviously, we've been hinting at this. The potential end of Xbox, or at least the Xbox as we know. So recently it came out, like, this is super recent, that Phil Spencer, who was the CEO of Xbox, and also resigned, and Sarah Bond also resigned as well, and they have replaced. Let me see if I can. Let's make sure I get the name right. Satya Nadella, who has a background in AI, so
she leads for AI for Windows.
She has no experience in game development or anything of that nature. She is more about Microsoft's AI when it comes to Windows. So, smiles all around. So there's a lot. Obviously, there's a lot of people that are viewing this as the potential death of Xbox. And I guess I could say, again, with the Sony situation, you could basically apply everything I just said to Xbox, especially when it comes to their acquisition of game studios, because, we said this when they were doing it, where it's just like, you're buying up Blizzard, was it Bethesda, and these are $1 billion investments, and you're not going to get a return on that. So studios, mass layoffs, all of these things are happening, and eventually someone has to take the fall for that. And I think so. Being in corporate America as long as I do, you tend to understand corporate BS when you see it. Phil Spencer saying that like, oh, he wants to go in a new direction, or he wants to focus on something else. It's corporate speech. I personally think, and this could be false, I personally think that Microsoft was like, hey, look, man, basically it's one of those things where it's like them volunteering him to leave so that they can potentially do something else, take the company in a different direction, because Xbox is not making the returns that Microsoft wants. And it's unfortunate because I think a lot of people are kind of doing revisionist history when it comes to Phil Spencer personally. Now, obviously, I do think that like he may have made a lot of bad decisions or signed off on a lot of bad decisions, maybe through the recommendation of Microsoft, or maybe it's just through himself. Maybe he thought it was a good direction for the company to go into. But a lot of people don't remember that like the Xbox One,
talk to him, bro.
Phil Spencer, he was able, like, it was through him that they were able to actually do something with that piece of crap console and even come back with the Xbox Series X. That was all of him. That was not Microsoft. It was through Phil Spencer. Same thing with I believe Sarah Bond as well. I think that like a lot of people are like, and again, that's why I think you can kind of see the corporateness of it, where Microsoft is trying to like paint a target and going like, it's them. That's why we got rid of them, right? Where I don't think that, but I do think that there are a lot of people who are jumping the fence and directly blaming Phil Spencer himself as the sole reason as to why Xbox is the way it is, when you have to understand that it was also Microsoft who signed off on those acquisitions when it came to Activision Blizzard, when it came to Bethesda, and let's also not forget that the potential replacement that Xbox is not the savior that Xbox needs, because she came out with a corporate BS statement of her basically going like, we're going to focus on games, and we're going to focus on we're not going to do too. She didn't necessarily say we're not going to do AI stuff. She kind of, the way she worded it was like, we're not going to do too much. They're going to do AI, but they're not going to do too much to AI to where it's like, oh, you can tell it's like AI slop or something like that. But you also have to understand that Microsoft has invested billions with a B, billions of dollars into AI and all these data centers. Do you not think they're going to do something with that type of money, especially when it comes to their own products themselves? Which is why this is probably the reason why they put her in charge of Xbox, because that's the direction they think that the company needs to go to in order for them to start really making that money that they want. Again, the live perpetual growth, for them to start making those profits to appease executive leadership and shareholders. So it sucks. I have some more to say, but I have been yapping a lot. But I just wanted to get those thoughts out, and then Detro, I'll let you take the floor, and then we'll go back and forth until it's time to end this thing.
Yeah, so I do want to say this, like, a few things, right? I thank you for saying something that's been on my mind since this whole thing has started, in which people are playing revisionist history with Phil Spencer. Yeah. And the only people who are doing that are people who have this same old bastion, this same old flag. It's like them people who didn't know the Civil War ended, the console war situation that has been dead for almost 10 years now, right? They still have that bastion. And because Xbox moved more to the third party, they view a lot of that anger towards Phil Spencer because of that, right? Bump them dudes, right? When that Xbox One came out, right? And the first thing that they told you to do is you could watch TV on that joint. They were trying to kill themselves, bro.
It was 24-hour DRM. You have to be online you have to be online and you can't play your Xbox. You can't share your games with anybody. It was everything about the Xbox One's like people. I understand that this was when we talk about moments in gaming, especially like when people talk about like, oh, when can you mark as one of the biggest failures of Xbox as a legacy company? Xbox One is that defining moment because that was the first. That was when people were going like, so everything that you liked about the 360, no, take it out the window. And they wanted their direction for Xbox One was an all-in-one entertainment system, not a gaming system, an all-in-one entertainment system.
Mm-hmm. And I think like when Phil Spencer saw the initial outcry of that, and also people moving towards Sony, because the same thing happened to Sony during the PS3 era, right?
Yep.
You can talk about them focusing more on the fact that this is a Blu-ray player, and also the horrible E3 show they had when folks was fighting that big old crab. Like, but Sony hunkered down and had one of the greatest low-key gaming generations for that console. Great, right? And Xbox did the same thing with the Xbox One, focusing on games, right? While Sony and Nintendo was like literally just saying, we only care about our exclusive properties. Xbox focused on, look, bro, we're going to give you games on games on games. And they delivered on that aspect. And for people to say, well, for every this, there's a, what's that vampire game, Dawnbreaker or something like that. For every this, there's a that, or for every Sunset Overdrive, there's a this. It be like that sometimes. Every game is not going to be successful, but they delivered on the gaming aspect of what gamers should want. They delivered on that, right? Okay, so I want to get that out the way. That's saying I got no ill will towards Phil Spencer. He went out on his shield, from what we know, until the NDA runs out and he go on a podcast and tell us what really happened.
Oh
right?
yeah.
Now
like I said,
I want to
get
to I want to get to the new CEO person, right? I saw the stuff on Twitter, her reacting to people, almost like she was a bot almost. Some person say Xbox games should be exclusive to Xbox.
Oh, I got the name. I just want to say, I apologize. The Microsoft CEO's name is Satya Nadella. The new head of Xbox is Asha Sharma.
Yeah. She was responding to people on Twitter and stuff like that. People looked up. I don't know why Xbox corporate people have their stuff public. Like, can't nobody say you had somebody, like, we know you had somebody play those games for you, but people saw her game and score and stuff like that. That's cool. She was brought there to kill the rest of Xbox, bro. That's it. That's all. Xbox, in my humble opinion, Xbox is going to get integrated into Windows, period. So it'll be Windows gaming and not just Xbox. Is a Microsoft thing. It will be Windows gaming or Microsoft gaming.
Because like the question you have to ask is, why her? And I'm not saying before people go on some like misalignings, list of massage. Like, no, we're not saying. The point is that this Xbox is a gaming company. Yeah. Why would you hire somebody that has strict ties to AI?
Like,
and
I don't know.
No gaming, no history in terms of like being in leadership in charge of something towards gaming to be the new CEO of Xbox?
I don't know. Have you ever? I don't know what because I know you were really loyal to the places that you worked for and stuff like that in terms of your corporate life. But I have been at a place in which they send the office killer to finish off the rest of your company, right?
Oh yeah, you intentionally. And again, I'm not saying that this is going to be the case for Asha, but you hire somebody you intentionally hire somebody that's incompetent to run the company to the ground.
Not just incompetent, right? Somebody who like just cutthroat, like this is what it's going to be, and this is how we are moving forward. If you don't like it, here are your papers, right?
Layoffs, because closing studios down, like that's.
Because he resigned. I mean, he retired. He took out his money. Sarah Bond resigned. Yeah, that's two different things. Like they basically say, you go or we deal with you the way we deal with you, right?
Yeah, because the natural chain would be she would be up.
Yeah,
for that leadership position.
I think it's It's I don't know how to forget his name already. Matt Ryan, right? I forget his name already.
Matt Booty, I think.
No, the the big guy at Xbox who just retired. I forget his name already, bro.
Phil Spencer.
That's how tired. Phil. Okay,
Oh,
it's
okay.
Phil Spencer, her, and then Matt Booty. Matt Booty
Yeah.
still there. Shout out to
Yeah.
bro. But it's Phil Spencer, her, then Matt Booty, right? And that's
Yeah.
how alignment. You'd think with both of them going, they just pull Matt Booty up to number one. Crazy name. No, they sent a killer. Like, and
Yeah.
I'm not saying this is her personality. I'm not saying she is going to go there, look at everything, hire her team from her side, look at everything and say, how can we salvage the money from Xbox, right? And this is not going to be a full-fledged, because they got stuff in the pipeline and contracts they have to fulfill. They have a contract with AMD with chips
Yep.
and stuff for like the next months. So this is not something that we're going to see is taking care of. Xbox is going now. This is something that throughout how we are going to maximize our profits before. It is a slowly but surely heal. That's what it is.
Yeah.
But that's what it happened to Sega. Now I'm not a gaming historian, but niggas know what happened to Sega. Sega was
I think at this
console
point,
pusher.
I think Microsoft realizes that the Xbox is a sinking ship. So let's just get everything that we can before we basically shut it down. Not necessarily shut it down, but like you said, integrate it into like more so like a Windows gaming platform.
Yeah, Windows or Microsoft platform, a real third-party engine like a Steam or Epic Games Store or something like that. Now, I wanna also say this, right? Again, this is not me talking about her, because for all we know, she can be really good at what she does as a leader and stuff like that.
Yep.
We don't know. Time will tell. But from a person who's been in a situation at a job in which we got called in the meeting to say, hey, the person that runs your company left, and this is what we about to do. And when one of my managers asked, what about our jobs? That nigga said, I don't know yet. So I already know just how some of them Xbox employees are feeling. And slowly but surely.
Oh, because when these things happen, it's followed up by layoffs.
Yeah.
It's followed up by layoffs.
Like and there are people who are better at us to explain this thing to you, like to explain what I'm about to say to the common folk who will probably say, y'all don't know what y'all talking about. There are people better. If you pay attention at Xboxes from the end of the cycle of the Xbox One to what we were at with the Xbox Series X, you will see a series of mistakes, right? I'm gonna keep it a being with you. The third party thing is not a mistake, right? That's a recoup of what they're trying to do.
Yes.
Buying
Same
Blizzard
situation with the
was a
Game
mistake.
Pass stuff too.
Yeah, buying Blizzard was a mistake, right? The reason buying Blizzard was a mistake because people saw Blizzard as Activision and like Activision's only pride and joy is Call of Duty. Its backlog of games is amazing. You got the Tony Hawk series and blah, 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 blah. But actually making money is Call of Duty, right? They went through the hell literally trying to get Call of Duty with the Activision deal within the courts, going against PlayStation in Europe and all that type of stuff. They went through hell trying to get that, right? I'm pretty sure they spent a lot of money in legal fees trying to get that pushed through. But even if you look at the Blizzard side, I'm going to keep it a being with you. You're not about to get an overwhelming bunch of people on World of Warcraft. So I'm not even going to talk about that.
It was just a bad investment.
Overwatch was at its tail end of its hype.
Yeah.
When that sale finally went through, right? And then you like Heroes of the Storm, like them games are not about to get you your money back. It was all focused on Call of Duty, right? And that leads into like putting you was at a double-edged sword with that one, right? With Call of Duty. Just like if you look at Bethesda, I'm pretty sure eventually will recoup what they have, especially when they start putting the games back on the other two systems. Bethesda's going to make its money worth, right? But you look at it back then when they first bought it, when Fallout 4, extremely successful. Fallout 76, but people played it, right? But people have to realize Bethesda puts out one game every 7 to 8 years. So you have to rely on.
And the biggest thing that came out back then that like you were really gunning for, which is Starfield,
a flop. It was a flop.
Did
Right?
not do what you wanted it to do.
and then that leads me right to the biggest crutch. Now, I want to get you. I want to talk to you to the Xbox stands in general, not as a sense of disrespect, but as a sense of what people was trying to tell you. If you come to me and you talking about like businesses in the war of two companies, and you tell me the reason this one is successful is because it's consumer friendly, I'm gonna say somebody about to lose, bro. Because consumer friendly, low key means like we kind of need y'all more than you need us, right? It's like when you got discount grocery stores, right? It's not here to give you the greatest food. It's here so you can actually keep us running, right? Game Pass on the outside is an extremely consumer friendly thing, right? For a nigga like me, for a nigga like Cam, that is the 0.1% of gamers, bro, right? If you talk about a person who regularly buy Game Pass, they will tell you one or two things. They cancel it when they done playing the game, or they forgot that stuff was on their card.
Yeah.
That's the only two, right? Because there is no way you can tell me that thing was successful for that company, and now they're more of a third party. It wasn't, right? It was not successful. For everybody who played Game Pass games, to tell you, well, I'm playing all these games for free, right? Sure, congratulations to you, but that's not going to help them niggas get money in their pocket. Right? That's why Netflix continuously crack down on password sharing and continuously crack down on and upping the prices, because they got to go to these shareholders and say, like Cam just said a couple of minutes ago, I know I made you 1 million, but this is how I'm gonna make you 2.
This is how I'm gonna make you more money.
Game Pass was not doing that, bro. Right? You gotta, and you want to get deeper. And I'm telling you, there's people who could probably say it better than we can on this podcast. But if you want to get it deeper, putting Game Pass on PC was probably worse than going third party. Because now you don't have people buying your console.
Yep.
You have people buy at a cheaper price playing your games on PC. Game Pass PC is cheaper than Game Pass Ultimate for your Xbox.
Yep.
It's like $30 or something like that from the last time I seen it. Or 20 or something crazy, right? You sit there, and if they be like, well, that game not coming out on Game Pass for the PC. Okay. Because PC players are extremely, they
got Steam, and they got other things
Steam,
to play.
they got discounts, they got torrent sites and stuff like that.
Like they'll find a way to play the game if it's not available on the Xbox. So
yeah,
that's a non-argument.
Yeah, but you putting that thing on PC, you're splitting that player base even more. This niggas will say, why would I buy this big old console when I can just have money on my PC, play more games, bigger libraries, emulate, such and so forth, be
and
on
run
Discord
it better
with my
too,
homies.
depending on optimization.
Yeah, and run it and run it better, right? That's one of the biggest problems from what I see, right? Also, another thing is not carving yourself out in this market when PlayStation is known as the market leader, right? They are known as the person to go if you want to get your kids a system, right? In the hood, like they don't even say the number for a PlayStation. They just say, I'm about to go buy my son a PlayStation. They don't even say the number, right? PlayStation.
The amount of times I've been asked, like I'm pretty sure you listening to this podcast too. The amount of times non-gamer people have walked up to you and said, "Oh, I'm thinking about getting my, so and so the new PlayStation. Is it good? Because I know you got it."
Yeah, they're the market leader. They have so much clout that they can take 4 to 5 years without bringing in an exclusive, right? And the PS4, what that PS4 did to a gaming generation in terms of dominance, we will probably never ever see again, bro. Like that thing, a lot of Nintendo fans try to argue because the Switch started getting up in sales towards the end. of the PS4 life cycle. But
Because
don't
it
get it
released
twisted.
later.
Yeah, but do not get it twisted. Like, don't get it twisted. That system single-handedly, like, I hate the console war, but that was the equivalent of America after Pearl Harbor, bro. What that system did, G. Like, it went crazy. They saw what happened with the PS3, and like the PS3 came back towards the end.
Yeah, PS3 came back, but then PS4 was essentially
It
their
was just,
answer to, yeah, we know we messed up, so here you guys go.
and they did something crazy, right? When we get to the PS5, a lot of people have their thoughts of like this console generation. I always will have the caveat of saying the pandemic kind of shakes some
Yeah,
things up. And from the look of it, don't worry, this console generation is gonna last a little bit longer, so you ain't gotta worry too much. But um, but the PS5 also right now clearing the landscape, right?
dominating.
This
He's
dominating.
dominating.
The Switch 2, a newer system, right? Came holiday season, PS5 still bodying all those systems in
Yeah,
every market. Like that's crazy, right? So you did carve yourself out. Nintendo carved itself out as the family system, as the
yeah.
historical system. We got
Regardless of
Mario.
anything, Nintendo will always
Mm,
be successful in the gaming market, no
yeah,
matter
they
what.
they have it. They have it. We got Pokemon. They have nostalgia on lock. Like, can't nobody beat them in that, right? We got Pokemon. We got Mario. You want a new Smash Brothers? We got you a new Smash Brothers. You like playing Mario Kart with your homies? Here go a new Mario Kart. Like,
Yep.
they have that on lock. So they will always be there. Xbox didn't carve themselves out for anything in this generation other than being, we're the system with a subscription service.
Yep. And the crazy thing is that you had an identity.
Yeah,
You had an identity. Because
it
that's
was
the reason
great.
why the Xbox and the Xbox 360 was so successful, is because you had an identity within your own gaming infrastructure. You had Halo, you had Gears of War, you introduced online multiplayer. You pioneered it with Xbox Live. And so you had this identity of being kind of it's like if Nintendo is family friendly oriented and PlayStation is like, first party exclusives with like the God of War and stuff. Xbox was like the dude bro of the gaming console. It was like
Yes,
the I want to play Call of Duty, I want to play Halo, I want to play Gears of War multiplayer on
yes,
Xbox Live, chatting up with my friends. That was your identity. And then you
yes.
lost it in the Xbox One when you wanted to move into some online all-in-one entertainment system BS. And then you kind of brought it back with the release of the Xbox Series X, but kind of to go back on the Highguard situation, you never capitalized on anything.
No, like, you were the system for hardcore gamers.
Yes.
Right? It was you, and then if you wanted to get even hardcore, it was PC niggas. They always have
Yes.
been the upper echelons, but you were the system for hardcore gamers. Xbox 360 days, yes, it was Grit, it was God of War online, it was Halo online, it was Call of Duty, it was parties, it was getting called the N-word. It was all that. That was your identity. You
Yes.
wasn't like when somebody pick up and play an Xbox, a Call of Duty game, like the first thing they think of is Xbox 360. They think of
Yes.
Black Ops 2 on the Xbox
On the
360. They think
Xbox.
of Black Ops 1, Modern Warfare 3 on the Xbox 360. That's like when you talk about great single player games or JRPG, you think of like PlayStation, things of that nature. But for the main thing that people love, which is a multiplayer experience with a gun in your hand, Xbox was the
Xbox
place
was
to play it.
that was your identity,
Yes,
and
and I
you
don't.
lost it.
You lost it, right? And I'm pretty sure there's other things, stuff like Fortnite, things of that nature, the pricing and stuff, people. But what PlayStation 4 did when it comes to building a community around that system, right? People got I damn, you still got your PS4, right?
I still got my
Like,
PS4.
I gave mine to my brother, but he got that thing humming still, bro. Like, that system is legendary, right? Because of what it was able to do through PlayStation parties, through its exclusives, through people preferring to play their games through it.
It literally was the reverse of what happened the previous generation. Because what happened was that Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3, people were like, I'm going to Xbox.
Yeah. And
Xbox One, PS4 came out, I'm going to PlayStation.
Yeah. And it was literally like the reverse, right? Because back then the PS3 was sold at a way higher than the Xbox.
Yes.
It came out later too, technically, but it was still sold way higher than Xbox. When Xbox was selling for $200-300, that PS3 was almost like $600.
It launched at $600, which is crazy.
Right. And then it kind of flipped. The Xbox One was a little bit more expensive than the PS4 when
it was. They sold the PS4 at a loss.
It was a more powerful system, low key too. But that's the thing. I think people don't understand what matters in gaming. Like that Xbox Series X.
The Xbox Series X is more powerful and has more storage than the PS5.
Yeah, people didn't care, right? They wanted their El Cinco, right? Like it's people are gonna say when Xbox get the Steam thing inside their system, then watch. People not gonna care, bro.
Why would someone who has a PC say, "Oh, I'm gonna get an Xbox Series X so I can play my Steam games on my Xbox"? Why would they do that?
Like,
where's the market for that?
It's the same thing. Like even when they tried to do the Rogue Ally thing with Xbox, like, why would I pay almost $1,000 for a handheld?
I have a Steam Deck.
Or I have a PC,
right?
Like, or I can just play on. If I want a handheld, I just play a Switch, which is the superior handheld system in gaming. Right. A gaming system that's literally made for like the design just to be. I want to be the leader in handheld systems. Like that. This is a lot of things that were on Xbox, and it's not. Of course, we PlayStation dudes, but we also like. I know when I'm getting finessed. I'm
a gamer at heart.
Yeah, I'm a gamer at heart. If Xbox had something that made me like I have to buy an Xbox because it just makes my PlayStation seem like a working system, I would play an Xbox most likely, right? But for that, it's like even if you get an Xbox and you get Game Pass and you do all that, they're so far behind in terms of community. Like just as a gaming community, you don't hear people talking about Xbox party chats. Like, no, you hear about people talk about what happens in the PlayStation logs. What happens when they release the PlayStation logs to the FBI, like, or Discord logs and stuff like that, right? Like, these things that makes gamers want to play on your system, like Xbox don't. They just, the culture around it, the culture, that's another big thing. It's not fair for Xbox. Xbox don't have a culture anymore. Like, it's just known as the other system on the market. Right? And you don't want that. Overseas, it's worse. It's worse. Yeah. But PlayStation dominates Europe, and Nintendo and a little bit of PlayStation dominates Japan. Right? I don't know about China because they stuff keep under wraps. But like, you're worse. Like, I'm pretty sure in Japan, even with the chip shortage, I'll probably get a nice Xbox for cheap in Japan right now, yo.
Oh yeah, dude, the Xbox One did terrible. The Xbox One did terrible in Japan, and the Xbox Series X, like I said before, I went to like a retro gaming shop when I went to Japan last year, and they had like an entire floor of like Nintendo, Sony stuff, and like in a little corner they just had like some Xbox stuff. And that was it. like they don't like it. And I guess just so we can start wrapping stuff up. But like for me personally, like I said before, for any first time listeners or viewers, if you stuck around for the whole thing, like again, this is a long it's a warranted long conversation because this is something that's going to really affect gaming as a whole in terms of the future of Xbox and what Microsoft intends to do with it. But I have an Xbox Series X. I bought both the PS5 and the Xbox Series X at launch date. So like I said, I'm a gamer at heart. I own, as far as like modern stuff goes, I pretty much own everything of significance. PC, I have a PS4, I still have my big booty PS3, PS5, Xbox Series X. I have the Switch. I have the Switch 2. I have the Steam Deck. I have a PlayStation Vita. I have a Nintendo 3DS. Like I said, I play video games. I go where video games go, where I can have fun. So, like I said, I have a preference towards Sony because that's what I grew up in. But I am not loyal to them. We just made not made fun of them, but we literally just clowned on them for doing what they did with BluePoint Studios. So before y'all call us Sony ponies or anything like that, please no. And I can tell you that like my hours on my Series X are very, very limited. There's only one game that I've played and beat on my Xbox Series X, and that was Like a Dragon. That's it. I've played games on my Xbox Series. I've had Game Pass on my Xbox Series X, but right now, my system right now is delegated to when my god brothers come over, I let them play on it. But personally, I have not touched my Xbox Series X in years because I can either play it on PlayStation, get it on Steam, or get it on Nintendo. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no reason for me to play it on Xbox. Like, I just don't see a desire to do it. So like that's me personally, in terms of just, and this is coming from like Detrail said, this is the like I'm in the 1% of hardcore gamers where this is like I spend money, I play video games. This is my passion. This is my hobby. I love doing it. So the average Joe, like if they have an option between I want to go to the next generation, Switch, invest in a PC, or get a PlayStation, Xbox is not going to be in that conversation because there's nothing that they have that is like, okay, go towards that. And obviously, like if we said before, it's a myriad of factors. Again, a lot of the decision making when it comes to these acquisition of studios definitely plays a role, and that's why. I mean, you look at 2025 alone and you see how many layoffs Microsoft did throughout the entire year in the studios they closed down. It's insane. Just to go on a little personal tangent, I recently played, like literally just recently, so like beginning of February, like end of January towards the beginning of February, I purchased Hi-Fi Rush, which is the Tango Studios that Xbox shut down because the game did well, but since it was on Game Pass, it probably didn't make the studio as much money as they wanted to, and then they ended up getting shut down. And playing that game, bro, when I because I've seen some clips of the game, that game genuinely has so much love and passion put into it. I was visibly mad playing through this game because I was like, I would just go through segments and stages, and I'm just like, Xbox, you saw this game, you saw this studio, you saw this potential for a branching line for first party games exclusive to your system, and you said, nope, shut it down. Clown behavior. Actual clown behavior. And so it's decisions like that, and decisions like with the direction that they took with Game Pass. Again, I think that Game Pass as a product, like the trail said, was very user friendly, and to certain people that have the resources and slash desire to like really take advantage of that system, it's really good. But the direction that Xbox has taken with it throughout the years is not one where it would have yielded truly profitable results. And so you have a lot of those factors that just kind of led to the state that Xbox is nowadays, which is why we're getting this type of news. So it's unfortunate. Xbox shutting down, or like if Xbox does indeed die, this is not a good, because I again, the console war BS and stuff like that, we grown men out here don't care about that. Mm-hmm. But Xbox, if it does like end up dying like as a truly competitive like gaming company, it's not a good move for the industry, because that means one less competition for Sony, and Sony can truly do anything they want to do.
That's the scariest thing, bro.
do
You
anything they
can't
want to
tell
do
me that's not scary.
and
Like
get away with it.
I love PlayStation. Like that is my system. That is my preferred system to play. But you can't tell me it's not scary to see or to hear PlayStation become the dominant force. It does
In
whatever
terms
they
of
want with
gaming,
that
and they can
system.
do whatever they,
Yeah,
because again, Nintendo exists on its own little,
yeah,
they
its
they
own
don't
planet.
they got their stuff. Nintendo was never ever in the console war. They never were. They didn't care,
Yeah,
because they were all, no matter what, they were always going to be successful. It was really Sony and Microsoft going head to head throughout these generations. But if it comes to a point where it's just Sony, and the reason why people say competition is a good thing when it comes to stuff like this is because for us as a consumers, there's an option of, oh, you want some bullshit? I'm going with them. And if enough people do that, then the other company goes, oh shoot, slap myself. Let's get into gear and let's do something about that to get the people back. And that's what we saw with the PS3, Xbox 360 era into the PS4, Xbox One era. It's because Sony got complacent with the PlayStation 2, thought they could do whatever they wanted with the PlayStation 3, and Xbox said, oh no, come to us. We got y'all. And then Xbox got complacent with the Xbox 360, thought they could do whatever they wanted with the Xbox One, and PlayStation said, no, I got y'all. Come back to me this time. I got y'all. And it was because of that back and forth that we were able to go from great console generations to great console generations within both ecosystems. It's because of there was that, hey, you're not always going to be out on top. There's somebody that's still going to be chasing you. But if we don't have that, then we're in a dark timeline where Sony can just be like, okay, y'all remember when we charged $600 for that PS3? We bringing it back now. So it's not a good thing. I know there's a lot of weirdos out there that are actively preying on Xbox's downfall. We're not one of them. This is a situation where I hope. Hey, look, I hope. I don't think it's gonna happen, but maybe if in a utopian society, in a utopian parallel dimension where they can really kick things into gear and get Xbox back into a position of competency, then I think that'll be, again, that is a benefit to all of us. Xbox being good is a benefit to all of us. That's what I believe.
Man,
and
the fan base is annoying, but is it needed?
But we need options. That's the big thing. That's what I want to relay to y'all. Whatever industry that we're talking about that you are invested into, you need options for engagement. You never want to be in a situation where there's only one thing that you have to get, because that's a monopoly, and within a monopoly, anything goes. And so that's all I gotta say on the situation. Detroit, you got anything else you want to close out on?
Yeah, I just like, hopefully y'all stuck around for the whole entire thing. Hopefully that was a good discussion for y'all. Hopefully, with Xbox situation, it plays out good for everybody involved. Look, I am one of the few people who love the fact that they went third party, because I think they have a wealth of games that everybody should enjoy. And I know PlayStation is stingy. Hopefully one day Xbox fans get to get a little taste of what, some of them games are. But other than that, man, one day we're gonna have that eulogy. It ain't today, but
it's not today. But hey, yeah, it's unfortunate, but it seems to be a definitive possibility.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all we got to say. I know we went on a huge tangent, but usually we kind of like to stick within the hour to hour 30-minute time frame. But this is big news. So we definitely wanted to cover kind of giving our more comprehensive thoughts on the situation. Again, in the comment sections down below, let us know what you think, not only about the situation in regards to Xbox, but in regards to all of the news that we covered today, the Xenoverse situation, Ashes of Creation, Highguard, and Sony shutting down BluePoint game studio. We want to hear your thoughts. We want to interact with you guys. We want to engage with y'all. So please don't be afraid to comment, and we will reply accordingly. And while you're there, and while we have you, if you have not done so already, be sure to like and subscribe. And also, I guess I got to start saying some of this stuff. I do add like videos at the end of this one for like recommendations of other videos that you can watch. So if you are new and you haven't heard our thoughts about recently of us talking about the Sony State of Play, go ahead and check that out. We also have a sports podcast that they trail Supreme Unk Chris, who left towards the beginning of the podcast, but they do a basketball wrestling podcast called Threes from the Ring. So if you're a sports nerd as well and you want to engage in some of that content in regards to hearing their thoughts on that, I'm not a sports nerd. I only got too much. My genetics didn't align to that, but they are very interesting. I do give it a listen on myself, so go ahead and check it out, please. And we also have some other content, Gotcha on the Gotcha for gotcha gaming stuff that I personally cover. And then Detrell and I also have a series called Views from the Couch, where we go into more specifics about video games that we discuss on the podcast that we don't necessarily have the time to go into during the podcast. So we dedicate an entire video to it. So be sure to check that out as well. Again, we have a lot of quality content, and we got a lot of stuff we cannot tell y'all. We got a lot of stuff coming down the pipeline that we are preparing for, because we really want to take this channel in terms of our quality and overall content to the next level. So hopefully you guys looking forward to that. You'll know that when you see it, you'll see it. Can't get into any details yet, but again, we are working all that stuff in the background. So stick with us, rock with us, continue to support us, and we will continue to push out content for you guys to enjoy. So long-winded, but just wanted to get all that stuff out there. Appreciate you. If you stuck around for the whole thing, yes, I'm talking to you. You a real one. Thank you so much. God bless. Enjoy the rest of your day. See you next time.
Leave it dirty.